What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Layup Podcast Tech segment, where we talk about all things tech. Today's topic is all about the Metaverse and the companies that are working towards making it a reality. We'll also be talking about what role do NFTs and crypto have in the new economy, and much more coming up right now. I'm sure that you've heard all about the Metaverse by now. It's literally everywhere ever since Mark Zuckerberg himself announced it being that the new North Star is to bring the Metaverse to life. But what exactly is the Metaverse? Defining the Metaverse is a bit of a challenge because depending who you ask, you'll receive different definitions, even among the experts. But the large majority, including myself, would agree that it's the successor to the internet that has defined the last 2 decades. It's a persistent 3D virtual world, a network of interconnected experiences and devices, tools, and infrastructure far beyond mere virtual reality. Think the internet, but brought to life. To further define the metaverse, it's important to understand that the metaverse is poised to revolutionize every industry and function, from finance and healthcare payments, consumer products, and even sex work. The metaverse could potentially bring in trillions in new value and radically reshape our society. So it's kind of a big deal. To get an idea of what the metaverse is, let's go over some familiar games that you might have heard of that kind of relate to the metaverse. First one off is Second Life. Second Life is a world like the metaverse where people themselves can interact, play, do business, and even communicate. Habba Hotel is another one that I used to play as a kid, where you can create characters, build and design rooms, chat with other players, take care of virtual pets, and even create and play games and complete quests. Another one that you might have heard of is Roblox. That's been for a while, but it's most recently been everywhere ever since it became a public company and started trading on the stock market. Roblox allows users to program and play games. It aims to give users and developers ways to create digital worlds, and in the future they want to incorporate more shopping and ways of conducting business on their own platforms through their own virtual economy powered by its Robux currency. Other games that you might think of are Fortnite and Minecraft. Now, if you don't play any video games, let's move on to some books and movies that you might have seen or mentioned the metaverse. First off on the list is Snow Crash, and this is one of the biggest books that relates to the metaverse because the author, Neil Stephenson himself, coined the term metaverse in Snow Crash. It was published in 1992, and it introduces the metaverse appearing to its users as an urban environment. In it, there's virtual real estate owned by a global multimedia protocol group. The way that they access the metaverse is through their own personal terminals that project high-quality virtual reality display onto goggles worn by the users, or from grainy black and white terminal booths. Recently, even the author Neil Stephenson came out with a public statement that he isn't advising Facebook on its own vision to the metaverse. The Matrix. The Matrix is a series of movies depicting a dystopian future in which humanity is unknowingly trapped inside a virtual world called the Matrix, which intelligent machines have created to distract humans while using their bodies as an energy source. Another one that everyone goes to and you've probably heard of is Ready Player One, but I always think about the book, not the movie, which we'll get into later. But Ready Player One is a 2011 science fiction novel by Ernest Cline, which depicts a 2045 world gripped by an energy crisis and global warming, causing widespread social problems and economic stagnation. The primary escape for most people is a metaverse called the Oasis that's accessed with a VR headset and wired gloves. They even have a sequel called Ready Player 2 in 2020, and of course, the one that everyone's heard of is the film adaptation, which was directed by Steven Spielberg and released in 2018. Now let's go over the companies that are building the metaverse. Of course, you have all heard Mark Zuckerberg is doubling down on what he sees to be the next generation of the internet and digital economy. A few days after a testimony by a whistleblowing former employee accusing Facebook platforms of harming children and inciting political violence. Now, is this a coincidence? Who knows, but I think a lot of people, including myself, see this as I don't think it's really much of a coincidence. Whether I think this is going to be one of those cases like Tesla, in which Elon Musk wants to do like SpaceX, right? Or like Jeff Bezos is now focusing on what he wants to do. It's kind of one of those ways to like wash his hands by him not overseeing it by that much, and he wants to just focus completely on the metaverse. So I mean, we'll see what comes from Facebook, and we'll see also how serious and how much they progress. Another company to be on the lookout is Microsoft with their Microsoft Mesh, which is a mixed reality software that enables the virtual presence through Microsoft devices like the HoloLens 2. Now, if you don't know, Microsoft is actually working on an enterprise metaverse, and you can't forget that they also own Minecraft. Next up is Epic Games, and of course, you already know them from being the ones that built Fortnite. But recently, they directed a fundraiser to build out Fortnite into a metaverse. The CEO, Tim Sweeney, a vocal critic of big platforms like Apple and Alphabet's Google, has argued that the metaverse will need to be a participatory common space. Another company that you have to be on the lookout for is Sony, which also has a stake in investing in the metaverse with their VR option and a huge gaming market. And another one that you might have heard of is Decentraland, which is a decentralized virtual platform owned and operated by its own users. It uses the Ethereum blockchain, and it's overseen by the nonprofit Decentraland Foundation. Companies aren't the only ones that are investing in the metaverse, however. South Korea announced the creation of a national metaverse alliance with a goal to build a unified national VR and AR platform. Another company that you might have heard of is Nvidia, a computer chip maker that built its own Omniverse platform that connects the 3D worlds into a shared virtual universe. It says that the Omniverse, which is used for projects like creating simulations of real world buildings and factories, is the plumbing on which the metaverse could be built. There is also the company Unity, which builds video games software, and its developers sell tools or tech that is used to build the metaverse. So that is definitely one to be on the lookout for. And one that you might not even think about is Snapchat, but long it's been building custom avatars and augmented reality filters to overlay digital features on the real world. This year, it actually unveiled its first true augmented reality glasses, which was available for developers to experiment with creating experiences for the spectacles. Now let's get into how NFTs could possibly be incorporated into the metaverse. When talking about NFTs and the metaverse, let's compare it to the virtual items in video games like Fortnite. Take the video game concept, but on a different magnitude, because it would be more than just gaming. This would be the revenue model of the metaverse. NFTs allow people to not only design spaces within the metaverse, but also own them and provide them with transferable ownership of the space that they have worked hard to create. Think about your identity in the metaverse. It would be through avatars that reflect your real or imagined self in digital goods that could be utilized within the metaverse. For those of you familiar with NFTs, think about Meebits or the Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks as examples of collectible NFTs, in which by owning one of these, you have an avatar, but also membership to a virtual club. The Bored Ape Yacht Club community already meets in the physical world and operates a fully functional riverboat casino in the metaverse, which leads to how crypto will be incorporated into the metaverse. Now, when thinking about crypto in the metaverse, let's think about play to earn games, where players are allowed to create new digital assets, trade them using the game's infrastructures, and earn virtual in-game currencies that can be easily sold for other crypto and fiat currencies. Further adding the ability to generate financial income, play to earn games create a more active community. One of these that I'm going to use as an example is called Axie. Axie is an NFT based online video game centered on Pokemon like characters that fight and breed in a simple game or strategy. There's over 1 million active daily users. These users, they can breed, buy, and train these Axies. They can carry out tasks and engage in battles, but the true goal is attaining an in-game token called Smooth Love Potion, or SLP. With this, players can breed their axes, which gives them the advantage of earning more SLP, and more SLP equals cryptocurrency that can be bought or sold in cryptocurrency exchanges. The best performing players are said to be making up to 1,500 SLPs a day. Now that's around $250 as of recently. Now this also varies constantly because of the volatility with crypto. Now the Axie creatures themselves can actually be sold as NFTs on an open marketplace, and in-game assets like real estate and flowers as well as others NFTs can also be sold. To conclude this, in this play-to-earn economy of Axie Infinity, players get rewarded for their time by earning SLP, which can be sold on crypto exchanges, and by acquiring Axies and other in-game assets that can be sold in an open marketplace. And for those that are interested, some other pay-to-earn games to look into are Blocktopia, 1 to 11, Nakamoto Games, Immortal Games, and Tryhards. And there's so many more games out there that are pay to earn in which you can actually make a living just by playing these games. So it wouldn't be a bad thing just to look into them. And who knows, you might be getting paid to play a game that you also enjoy. And to conclude this episode, I will end with my final thoughts. So while the concept of the metaverse could still be more than a decade away from fully being realized, one thing is for sure, and that's that it will take the cooperation among tech giants to fully realize it. NFTs and crypto will play an important role. The gaming industry is only going to get bigger. Play to earn games will be more popular and be part of the virtual economy. The metaverse would revolutionize every industry and function, from finance and healthcare payments to consumer products and even sex work. It has the potential to bring in trillions in new value and radically reshape our society.